Italy, peacefully bathing in the Mediterranean, Mecca of romance, land of pizza, and of course, home to the Pope, with such a wealth of history and culture. Florence, Rome, Tuscany, Venice. It's no wonder Piedmont gets lost in the shuffle.
Piedmont, you say?
Even Italians are just now discovering this hidden gem in the Northwest. With only 3,100 square miles, there are more castles, fortifications, and palaces than in any other region in Italy.
Bordering France and Switzerland with the Alps looming nearby, Piedmont is a world unto itself, purely exemplified in the character of its people, the Piemontesi. They speak very nonchalantly of their own hidden treasures. They take great care of their paradise, but tend to admire in silence. You would almost think it's a secret.
È un segreto.
Walking the streets of any Italian city, you will eventually come across a piazza. Considered the heart of the city, people get together, and the free exchange of ideas, news, and politics flow as much as the wine does. It is essentially the people's living room, a place where markets and festivals gather and bring an ambiance of old-world charm to the community. Like every town in Piedmont, there is a fusion of old and new, where the past greets a new generation, and they too relish and fuse it into a modern pace. A 2,000-year-old Roman sport is still played by the Piemontesi. Ancient instruments fused with modern music fill the air. And the aroma of festivals which celebrate the local harvests are an Epicurean adventure not to be missed. History of any culture is personified in their food, and Piedmont is no different. Culinary celebrations reflect what each region is most famous for. Whether it be wine, cheese, meat, fruit, or the rare delicacy of the truffle, all are prepared with an artisan quality deep-rooted in tradition.
Beneath Piedmont, geologists have unearthed layers of ocean shellfish dating back 2 million years, when a large area of the region was under the ocean. Thousands of years of history and remnants of wars gone by, Piedmont has its fair share of museums. Masks, automobiles, even a museum dedicated to medieval torture. The list is never-ending. Turin was the capital of the Italian film industry before World War I, hence the Museum of Cinematography. A must for film buffs, it's a monument to Italian cinema. Starting out as the Royal Military Riding School, the Cavalry Museum is a monument to the horses and men who taught cavalries across Europe how to ride and properly train horses. The Middle East is a far cry from Piedmont, but the largest Egyptian museum outside of Egypt resides in Turin. As strange as it is to have an Egyptian museum in Italy, what's even stranger is what this guy had to do with it. Nevertheless, these extraordinary exhibits contain materials dating back to 3500 BC. A stained glass window in a church from the 13th century would arouse the curiosity of any American. You may recognize it by looking on the back of a $1 bill.
Western Europeans would travel through Piedmont to the Holy Land. From this sacred pilgrimage, churches, cathedrals, chapels, and monasteries were erected throughout the region. Many of these holy places still stand today. Artwork and architecture of these churches became increasingly more intricate throughout the centuries. Inside frescoes, paintings, statues, and stained glass resonate a profound attention to detail and spirituality. Residing in Turin rests one of the church's most sacred objects, the Holy Shroud. It represents the cloth in which Jesus was wrapped after his death. The shroud is housed in the Cappella della Sacra Sindone, or Chapel of the Holy Shroud, and is on display periodically for both believers and skeptics to see. A place for royals traveling through the area to relax, the relatively unknown Regia Palace is a treasure hidden away in Piedmont. It is one of the many palaces in the region and by far the largest. Piemontesi even claim that it is bigger than the Versailles in Paris. It is a wonder of architecture, paintings, gardens, and the life of the royals no longer there. King Arthur is a man of many legends. His stories have spread and grown throughout the centuries. There is a castle in Piedmont that claims Arthur stayed there with his Knights of the Round Table. Built in the 13th century, the castle, now a hotel and restaurant, showcased the brilliant legend in all its glory.
Far from legend, in the 17th century, under the reign of King Louis XIV of France, a mysterious prisoner was taken to Piedmont by D'Artagnan and his musketeers. The man was incarcerated for many years in this Piedmont prison. His face was never to be seen by another human being, with one exception, his guardian angel, who had been instructed by the king to never reveal the true identity of this prisoner. It is said that he was most likely a relative to the king because he wasn't executed as so many others were. This unknown man was referred to by the locals as Il misterioso prigioniero dalla maschera di ferro, or the mysterious prisoner of the Iron Mask. From various periods of history, Piedmont's collection of castles rival that of any nation. Abandoned, in ruins, many are being restored to their rightful beauty. Transforming these medieval relics into something a little more modern, some have been converted into hotels. They have become schools, wineries, museums, and even houses of auction and antiques. Incorporating this ancient architecture is no small feat, but has become part of life for the Piemontesi. 2,000-year-old walls left from the Roman Empire are just around the corner. Forging a connection with the past, these walls are integrated into the structure of the cities. Piedmont in the year 1800. Napoleon and the French army fought the Austrians at the Battle of Marengo. Victory by the French was instrumental in elevating his position within the French military. Becoming the Emperor of France soon after, his influence forever changed the United States.
Large festivals are held every year to celebrate the past. Some of the biggest festivals involve palios. In Italian, palio is known as a race. The most famous one is the Palio of Siena. In Piedmont, the palio held at the city of Asti is not only larger and more colorful, but it is more than 200 years older than the one in Siena. The origins of these races began in the year 1275 in the city of Alba. After laying siege to the city, the cavalry of Asti rode their horses around the walls of Alba, destroying their vineyards. Today, rivalries may remain, but it is all in good fun. It can be like walking back in time, recreating the food, market, music, and the delicate ballet of flag throwing.
Always tempered in the manner in which they communicate with others, the Piemontesi are not boisterous, they are not braggarts. Generally speaking, they are very honest. They are a people that have been carved by the many generations of historical events, influencing not only Piedmont, but the world. And yet they remain, in a modern sense, rather simple and plain. Honest, hard-working people who are content to see others appreciate their glorious past. It is widely accepted that Columbus was born in Genoa, a Mediterranean sea power during the 15th century. Spain and Portugal have also laid claim to this famous navigator. Perhaps this man may solve the mystery behind the true birthplace of Christopher Columbus.
È un segreto. Some of Piedmont's secrets shall be unraveled, while others will continue to rest in the unknown. The challenged, the legendary, and the mystic. Piedmont offers a spring of excitement, a summer of brilliance, a fall of fulfillment, and a winter of wondrous reflection. All of which will add to the enchantment of this region known as Piedmont.